So, hello, afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's session of SPE Talks. I'll be your host, Aladiloyin Damala. And today's session is about benefits of being an SPE member, why peace perspective. So last week we talked about benefits of being a member of SPE, and we had a panel session where we brought in some undergraduate students to talk to you guys about how they benefited. So today we are going to be welcoming a YP member. That's for those of you that don't know, YP stands for Young Professional, and they are members of SPE also. That's after you graduated. So our speaker for today is Bebeni Mipo Ifi Faga Blessing. He graduated from Obafemi Awolowo University with a second-class upper degree in chemical engineering, where he was awarded 5 undergraduate scholarships and the Professor Layokun Prize for Best Student Biochemical Engineering in 2016/2017 session. He served as he served as the 2016 president of SPOU chapter, where he led a team of motivated students to bring out exciting and creative programs that led to the award of the Best Student Chapter in SP Lagos section in 2017. After completing his NYC in 2018, he briefly worked as a graduate trainee in Indorama Element Fertilizers and Chemicals Limited. He was then employed by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) in 2020. He was first deployed to Nigerian Gas Marketing Company (NGMC) as a process control engineer before his current role as a reservoir engineer in Nigerian Petroleum Development Company (NPDC). Also, aside this is amazing achievement, he also loves swimming and playing chess. So I'll welcome our speaker for today.
Linda, hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, great. Okay, it's good to be out and to be back in, SPO event and all that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So we have some questions for you. So like we want to introduce members on what SP is about. So okay, the first question I have for you is in your profile, we read that you were a member of SP in your undergraduate days. So can you just give us like a little experience, how it was, how you joined, and just something to
Okay. All right. Great. So I was at the Student Technical Symposium. They just finished at PTI, and this question was also asked. It's always exciting to remember back in those days how we started. Because virtually, I was previously in the University of Ibadan. So before coming to OAU, so I was there for one and a half year before I decided to say, oh, I wanted to do chemical engineering, and I left to Ife. So back then they had the petroleum engineering, they had SPE. SPE was a big place in UI. But then I didn't know it in details. I just know that when they're having one big dinner and they'll be like, SPE is the one doing that. However, there was no interest then because I was studying chemistry in UI. So when I got to OAU in chemical, I didn't expect any SP to be there because they were not doing petroleum engineering in OAU. However, I was surprised because the room I went to that was in Awo. It happened that the first executive president of SPOAU, that is Akinloye Damilare, was in the room. He was in his going to his fourth year then. So and I was we're together in the room, and he was always preparing. That time it was about gathering membership and all that. He was working late in the night, so sometimes I would have to just assist him, maybe putting one or two things. And I was like, this SP, I think I'm interested though. I was like, you can now, you can follow us too. So I started, going to some of these meetings with him. So the special one was when I went to Lagos with them for a technical meeting, and I saw buffet. I saw everything was on point, and I was like, wow, this place is. So the networking was also. I saw people from Chevron, from ExxonMobil, so I wanted to network, and I was like, this is a good place. And that was how I started bringing most of our people in the class. Then over 100, okay, 70 to 100 persons. I was able to bring in. Like the passion was so much, and that was how I started. I grew to contesting for the general secretary. That was in my 300 level. And the next year, I told myself, why not? I could actually be a leader in this place. And because that was my passion, I didn't want to join any other place except the SPE. So I went in for the vice president. And in SPE, the vice president becomes the president. So it allows you opportunity to grow and you learn a lot of things. While the vice president, you know what you need to do when you come in. So that was in my finals then 2016, 2017. That was when we became I became the president, and from there it has always been thinking out of the box to make sure you put exciting, even up to the point where I'm a YP member now in Warri section. So that's just a brief of how the journey from SP has been. Sure. Thanks for that.
So you mentioned now that you are a YP member from Worry section. So I think a
Yes.
lot of our new students here, some people, because when I first of all brought out the section, people are like, "What is YP? What is YP?" So can you
Okay.
like explain to us how you can transition from being an undergraduate member to a YP member?
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Shorinda. So it's simply when you finish school, um, you are given a free membership for a year. SPE gives you a free membership because they know you are not working yet, so you need that opportunity to balance yourself because you pay like $30, 20 $30 to renew membership. So if I'm not $20 to $30, so if you are working in a company like mine, they will help you to renew. Like you don't even get to pay; it's automatic. Your membership renewal and the others going to conferences, they support you. However, if you are not working yet, like I'll give my transition. All right, after I finished school, I got the free membership. So, of course, after you finish school, you are trying to get something to do. For me, I didn't want to be an entrepreneur at a goal, so I wanted to work in the oil and gas industry. So I needed to be writing exams, aptitude questions, just to prepare for the opportunities that are ahead. So, but my first job was not in the oil and gas. My first job was in the fertilizer company. That was in Port Harcourt. So of course, I was still a member. I was still a member of the Port Harcourt section, but because where I am is not really an SP place per se. Um, you don't really have the drive until there's a passion. There's a difference when you are in an oil and gas company and they have SP as a culture there, or in the fertilizer company they have their own association. So it had to take my own personal drive from school to still be going for events. And when you go for events, people get to ask you, "Hey, where are you working?" And you tell them fertilizer. So they look at you that, "What are you doing here?" You get so. But there's one thing I want to tell, especially those that are graduating now. The thing is focus. You understand? The focus, the passion. Don't feel like because you are not there yet that you are not going to be part of them. So that's what affects most of us that graduate, because you're trying to get a job, you are not in the oil and gas yet, or you are not in the energy industry, and you feel you can't belong. There are some persons that work in the bank and they are very passionate with SPE, because SPE is networking. Forget the fact that it has to do with the energy industry. It's about networking. So if you feel like you want to be there in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, then you should join. Like you just go with the flow, no matter where. Even if they are saying but you are not part. No, nobody gets to tell you that you cannot be in a committee because you are not working in the oil and gas. No, they will still put you to volunteer because they know the opportunities can come in where you can transition at any time. So after the 1 year membership, I was in the distance. I was in, though I wasn't as active as I am now that I'm in Warri section. But in Port Harcourt section, whenever I found the time to, because like what I said, if where I'm presently at now, if I tell my manager that I have an SP event that I need to go and speak in, is automatic. They'll give me the permission. But if you're in a fertilizer company, they don't really understand what you mean. So the opportunity to go to volunteer might be might be less, but there are still opportunities, right? And weekends, there are still weekends for you to go. So the basic is just focus, passion, and all that. After the 1 year in school, I went to Port Harcourt. I was not as active as I was then until I got into the NMPC, and basically it has been a lot of volunteerism since then. I've been very active. Yeah, and even my name was submitted for an award nomination. Probably I might get is an international stuff and all that. So it just tells you that's just the level of volunteerism you can get. It's more passionate if you yourself you are committed. If you find yourself also in a place where they support the SP brand, very good. Even if you don't find yourself there, like I have some of my friends, they are not there yet, but they are very passionate with it, and it's just a matter of time. They are going to get it. Thank you.
So you've been mentioning a lot about volunteering, and I think SP, one of the major ways for you to be active in SP is through volunteering. But okay, like you said that your boss, if you tell your boss you are going to speak for an SP event in your current company, they would like okay, SP automatically. But how do you now like how do you think people that are not like if you are just fresh out of school and you are not able to get your and you're not able to get a position in an oil and gas industry where you know okay they will actively support your SP activities. How do you go about it, or how do you balance your non-industry and oil and gas industry work with active
Okay.
volunteering? Like for you now, you started off with a company that is non-oil and gas. So how do you do it?
Yeah.
Or what tools do you use?
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Oinda. So, I was comparing my back in the days in Port Harcourt and back in Warri now. Though I'm presently here, I've been transferred to NPDC recently, so I should be tied to the new section. But we have some stuff that we're still doing in the Warri section. So, how to balance this is this: if you are working in a place where the SP bar might not be supported, I don't know how the job is like, but most times, maybe weekends, if they have programs for weekends, you can go in if you have the time. I don't know, most jobs, especially is in the normal weekdays and all that. So you can go for programs for weekends once you know your boss can give you permission to go for weekdays. However, there's something that has really made volunteerism to be effective now, and that's these virtual meetings that we have. So you can put yourself, even if you are not working, walk up to maybe the YP. Okay, there's in every section there's what they call the young professional share. That's the person that in SP we have the section event and we have the YP event. That's programmed for young professionals. Some of the things that we have to learn as YPs are not what the people above 50, 60 years have to learn. You get? So you can walk up to the YP share, you can walk up to the membership share and said, I would like to volunteer in this. Oh, can I go to we have all these energy for me programs. So that was what I was doing in Port Harcourt back then. I told the person, the YP share that was in charge of the energy for me, that okay, I want to just have a list of the schools that I want to visit. So if I see that okay, they are visiting maybe this school tomorrow and I'm going to be off duty, then I put my time and I go. Do you understand? Back then, virtual was not really as active as it is now, but as I'm now, it's a very good time because most of the committees I am in now, like I told you, I'm in Benin presently, but tied to Warri section. Most of the committees we do it online. You understand? Virtual meetings like this, we do it online. So it's about just dedicating your time if you are free. You don't need to be present physically most times for these events. It's about bringing the ideas, and they know that you are working. It's about bringing the ideas, pushing the calls that need to be made for those that are on ground to carry them out. I don't know whether you get me. So that's one. Taking opportunities of the virtual meetings. That's one. Then another thing is this, especially for places where SPA brand might not be supported, but it's gradually they might support you. Is if you are very active and SP presents you with an award and you come to share with your manager or your persons at work and you show them that hey, I was branded. No, they see performance. And the next time you want to tell them that you have a major, okay, you are going for a conference at NICE, you need 3 4 days off, they will not hesitate to grant you those days off. You understand? So because they have seen the impact. And also, SP is actually a place where you network and where you have to build your capacity. So where it comes handy is when your boss maybe wants to have somebody. Then back then in Indorama now, we're in the fertilizer company. We use natural gas. So imagine they have a problem and you tell them you know somebody in Total, you know somebody in Ajib. You are, are you serious? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You met, you tell them in SP you met this thing, and I don't know. You can ask the question, and they can give you a contact. Maybe they are having challenges on how to get another alternate form of, of just something in the oil and gas, even on a personal note. These are things you bring in the SPE brand to people that don't really know about it. And before you know, they'll start supporting you. It got to a point that they knew in my former company that, guys, okay, if lesson is talking about this, it means that SP is very good, because there are some ideas in the organization that I had to bring that, bro, we can do it like this. So they'll be like, where did you learn that one from? Like, is my society or SPE? Those are ways you push opportunities that lies ahead, bringing ideas, and they tend to now support you. But the most important thing first is be diligent and be creative in what you are doing in the office first. Don't just be that routine person that is just doing the normal routine job. Make sure you are pushing ideas, you are dedicated to it. And from there, they are going to support you in one way or the other. But even if they don't give up because of that. There are a lot of volunteering opportunities in SPE. So aside going presently to, as in going physically to the event, there are a lot of them you can be active in. Yeah. I don't know whether that answered your question.
Yeah, it did actually. In fact, more
Okay.
than the question. I just
Okay.
want to say this out there for those that are watching live. If you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section so I can mingle it with my questions. So, okay, I think someone asked me this question like, oh, that when that you're active, you're volunteering, all these things. Like, how do you do it? What drives you? So, I think I want to put that question to you. I know
Yeah, what?
it's not easy actually to like be out there doing this, doing that. So like what motivates you or what drives you? How do you balance it or how do you keep on going?
Okay, okay. So, Orinda, let me start this question with telling a story like I did in STSC. My present job actually was due to the fact that I volunteered in SP back in school. Because if the questions, I went for a technical role, but the questions were mostly administrative. So basically, was when I got to the panel at the NMPC side, was they just asked me the first technical, like, oh, what are you presently doing? And the next they saw on the CV was, this SP president, and they just asked, what remarkable thing did you do in your in school? They just say, what remarkable thing did you do in school? And I just told them, I said, the remarkable thing I did, among all of them that I can really come out to say right now, is the fact that we wanted to raise money for the orphanage back in 2017 at the SPOAU week. And we didn't have money. And the best thing we could thought, as in we thought how to raise money, was we went to the mosques. That's the way you mosques there. We told the imam we wanted to come to wash cars on that Friday, and he allowed us. So when they went to pray, they didn't know what was happening before they came out. Some of the guys and myself, we washed as many cars as we could. And so they came out, they were very surprised, and they started giving us money. We raised over around 15K as at that time, and that was what we used to buy a lot of things and you know give and we gave out to the orphanage and even supported a little of the SPOU week. When I said that, the people in the panel was like, "Are you serious? Tell us another thing." I brought another stuff. Tell us another. So it became a talk around SPE, and they're like, sure, he's an oil and gas. They know SPE very well, and they're like, if student chapter like this can be doing something like wow, and you were leading that team and all that. So I think that's a material. We don't need to even ask any other question. And that was how I left the panel. So what am I trying to say? If I had not volunteered for SPE while I was in school, trust me, there's nothing to ask, no to say. There will be basically nothing you want to. What do you want to say? Because anything you want to, these are men that knows why when you are lying and all that. Because they are going to ask deep questions, just like they asked me then. Yeah. So volunteer, I'm not saying maybe you can only get those kind of opportunities in SP wherever you are in, maybe in ISEC, in JCI, wherever you're in your church fellowship, wherever you feel that you should volunteer and you can get an impact, especially in leadership and all that, is just do it and do it very well. Why I like SP to volunteer there is that we are organized. There are procedures laid down that you can know, wow, there's a lot of opportunities. The energy for me, we have the petrol bowl, we have the, different ideas that come in, and you can bring innovations too. So that's where SPE comes in a kind of diverse manner that you can speak from different perspectives. And I was involved in almost all of them. So for me, volunteerism has actually opened opportunities to the present comfort I'm enjoying now. Though you can't eliminate the presence of grace opportunities to, yeah, the grace factor can be, is always there in everybody's life, because it's time and chance that happening to them. Or just imagine I walked up to the panel and they were hungry, they were not even interested in all those kind of things. Nobody will even listen to your SP story. So what I'm trying to say is that create those opportunities to volunteer, because volunteerism can help you first of all in networking. The first another one is to make your life better. I've been in some places where they are like discussing, even in my present side, and they're like, Omo, if we had known somebody in this place now, and I'm like, I met somebody now back in 2018. Nice, the person works in Slum BJ. I think I know that person. That kind of channels. Even SP was the one that even provided that room for me to go to, so some industry experts to, to even write tests while after I've even finished school. Because some persons felt like, you guys, you were very committed back then in SPO. I think, can you come to my company to write a test? Those were places I did not even apply for. But people saw that, this guy was very committed. Yeah, you might say, even back in school, I got my ExxonMobil internship because of volunteerism in SPA. So it was internship. I did my internship in ExxonMobil because when ExxonMobil came one time for geology team, myself and the president then were very active. And when they left, they were like, those two boys, where are they? They were very, you see. So those are things that you never can tell. So don't just rule the fact that I beg, what am I to doing volunteerism for? These things may actually pay in the long run. So that's what keep me moving, knowing that I have more persons to my background to say, okay, I can call to if I need to ask some certain questions, knowing that favor can, set aside for me. And also what can motivate you is also having maybe some achievements to, to doing some stuff and making an impact too. Back then, I loved going for the energy for me. I was a president, but no matter how busy I am, because I love students, I love competitions. You know, you can tell now. I think your past president, Tokwe, and I think we have been the only presidents that participated in the Petro Bowl as of now that I know of. And because that passion of competition, I don't know, was there, right from time from secondary school. So no matter how busy the calendar was, I'm like, see, let me just put small impact and see how productive these things can come. So that's what keeps me going. The fact that there are a lot of things in front for me to get some of my problems solved.
Okay, you mentioned competitions that like you love going for the competitions and everything. So just like how we have STSC for students and we have the petrol quiz, petrol bowl. I don't know, is there any competition that is like available for YP members like that you guys do?
Okay, so basically there's no competition for YP members, but there's something, there's an award they give to YPs every year. So it's in three categories. So we have the best YP member in Nigerian section. Yeah. We have the one for regional and we have the one for international. So that was the one I was telling you they nominated now. Okay. Okay. Somebody can just feel this person actually performed a lot within the last 1 year. And I think we'll recommend him for an award. So it's now up to the award committee. But even if you don't get, you can apply for the next 3 years, at least before you are 35 years. Do you understand? So there's basically no competition in terms of answering questions and all that. But in terms of your impact, your achievements, in terms of what you are contributing, that's where there's an award for YP. In terms, like normal award, you get.
Thank you. So
Yes.
okay, I think you mentioned a lot about benefits of SP volunteering,
Okay.
how it has pushed
Yeah.
out and a lot of things. So
Mm.
like can you just like give us like a lot of maybe like a summary of benefits for people out
Okay.
there, because I think one thing we're trying
Oh,
to drive out is to push SP to people and like
Mm.
so that we'll not be the only ones enjoying it. So can you just both from your undergraduate days and as a YP member, a lot of
Yeah.
benefits that as well too.
Okay. So I'll just try to make it brief, because of the time and all that. One very good benefit of SPE, is that it helps if you want to, if you really want to, is that it helps you to grow. You can't be in SP within 1 year and you are active and you will say that you have not seen an impact in terms of your organization, in terms of your creativity, you know, and in terms of you saying that I've made an impact in one way or the other. Because we have energy for me events, we have opportunities where we go to offer community service. We have opportunity of technical capacity and all that. So if you are not growing in SP, it means you are not putting any impact. Like you are not putting any input like in SP. That's what I hope, because I know back from while I was in my 100 level where I came into school and now it's different. I basically would, I would say may not have known about the oil and gas industry or have any impact to it if not for SP. So I will speak in the area of, first of all, of the networking. Back then in my this thing in my secondary school, I had this scholarship to go do chemistry actually. It was a competition in Delta State. But when I went in, and when I was in chemistry, because then there was really no, I didn't even know about chemical engineering. So I just went for the opportunity to take this thing in UI. And it was when I got, Chevron was telling me that, no, we can't give you a scholarship in chemistry because we thought you would go to study chemical engineering. I was like, the competition was in chemistry. So, no. So any communication again, I could not even make it, that kind of thing. It affected me because I actually didn't really know any kind of platform and all that. My dad wasn't really that supportive as at that time. So I decided to say, there was even course like chemical engineering, and that was how I went for it. And scholarships came in because of the platform of SPE too. Getting to know members in SPE. Okay. Okay, sorry about the land banging noise. I don't know whether you can still hear. Okay, so let me quickly just wrap it up. Networking, in terms of networking, SPA gives you that room to meet a lot of people so that in times where you might need some information, you get them. And that's where it also makes you to grow. Because sometimes I want to do some job and I'm like, I don't know how to do this thing. And you just have to call and ask. This is it. I was in the gas industry before, and basically that was last year. And some of my friends, when they want to ask something as relates to gas marketing, as relates to gases, they have to call me up because they met me through SP. You get. So these are the platforms that SP creates for you to build your networking. Yeah. Some of you came to STSC and you met a lot of friends, you met a lot of new ideas. For me, for some of the things for me that I learned basically was why I was in SP. I went to a public school back then in secondary. And so when I see some technologies, especially from when I go to NICE, when I go to there's a better way to do this, so there's a better way. It's mostly the SPE experience that gave me those platforms. So aside the networking that I mentioned, aside growing in terms of even your personal life, making organized this thing, if you're in a committee and you see how SP operate, especially as a YP, yeah, in student level you might not feel it that much because you are just planning it just on that level. But when you see as a YP where we have a lot of different persons working in Chevron, in ExxonMobil, and they are bringing different ideas on how to plan programs, on how to be very effective, and be like, I can introduce this to my own personal life and make sure that I always keep to timelines, I always keep to schedules and all that. So the networking, the making you grow professionally, technically, and otherwise. The opportunities it lays as like for me, like I told you, like I shared, SP was one that gave me the internship experience, like the good internship experience in ExxonMobil. That was the platform because I was serving diligently, and even okay. Okay, and even back in this thing, so I'll just try to wrap it up. And even back when I was looking for a job, as at that time, we have a lot of persons that opened out to me. Do you want to do a graduate internship here and all that? So these are people that are very supportive. It's a family actually, especially when you come out of school. Yeah, it's always a family. Back in school, I enjoyed it. Outside, I'm still enjoying it. So that's why you see we're still volunteering up to now. Thank you.
Very much. So I think I just have one last question. Okay, when you're talking about the YP membership registration, so you said for a company like yours, they usually pay for you guys. But
Mm.
I just want to ask, is there like any grants within SP for members? Maybe let's say something like a scholarship, but like for free membership to YP members, or is there any
Okay,
aside
okay.
the ones he does?
Okay, so yeah, so there is sorry for this noise actually. Sorry. I'm supposed to be in a training and I quickly came to just do my driver's license. So while I was supposed to go back to training center, the time just caught up with me and I had to stay. And they are doing some renovation at this driver license office. Actually, so sorry about that, but let me be very quick. It was 30 minutes I told the fair because of the training that I was supposed to do. SPE actually gives that free membership for 1 year. Mm. So basically, you have to just try to raise up the money. As of now, I think to renew is about 20,000 naira. Yeah, I think $20. Yeah, so around that amount. As of now, that's yeah. It might be very challenging if you are working in a place where they don't pay that high. Like me, when I started my fertilizer company, my salary was around 55,000. So I was volunteering in SP, but I could not renew the membership because I was trying to live with the high life in Port Harcourt and all that. So however, when I got into a better place, I just renewed my membership from the 2018 when no, I finished in 2017. So I just renewed my membership from 2018 down to like 2020 that time when I got my job. So what I'm trying to say is this: sometimes it's hard, it's tough to if you have not gotten a job or you are not working in a good place as at that time to be paying this amount. But don't give up in your volunteerism. Oh. Nobody is going to push you out of SP because you have not renewed your membership. If you want to offer your volunteerism, they will still accept. So SP doesn't have any platform where after school they will tell you that they will grant you waivers or something, except maybe your company wants to pay for you. Sometimes section can decide to pay for people that volunteer very well. Sometimes, not all. So don't quote that section must do that. So sometimes the worry section, because there are people that yeah they are capable, the amount is nothing to them. So when they just see, they can say, okay, I will decide to renew. Like I know in January now, somebody decided to renew 10 members on his own. These are people that I knew they had money, so they were white. Sorry, they didn't have the money to pay, and they were willing YPs that were committed to the section. So he paid for them. Do you understand? So very soon I will even be on that platform too because I like people that have engaged and all that. So the only grant that they have is if you want to go do your masters. So SP gives you a grant, like you want to go do your masters, you can look it up there. I know one of my friends enjoy that benefit. She's in the US right now, so SP can give you a grant to go, to just support you for your master's degree. So that's one I know SP does. But apart from the membership, this thing, I don't know of anything like that.
So thank you very much for taking out of your busy schedule to maybe
Yeah,
just
you're
attend
welcome.
our plans. So
Mhm.
I okay, I can't see any question from the comment section, so I think
Okay,
we just wrap it
okay. All
down
right. So
here.
let me just give a word of advice. Before, can you hear me? Um,
Yes, yes, I can.
Ainda. Okay, so just a word of advice for those in school. Um, you know, uh, no situation is static. Huh? No status is static. So the fact that you are there in school, you are drinking guy, hmm, or you are trying to say, just push it to the end. Like I tell people, try to finish with a second class or pass degree. Because most times that's where is the criteria to get into the oil and gas. if you have that minimum of second class or pass degree, or if you might not be able to meet up with it, build your skills so much that somebody can recommend you for something. You understand? But minimum criteria to get in to sell out yourself is that second class or pass degree. Once you have it, um, be committed, know what it is to prepare ahead to be in the oil and gas. Like for me, I already knew right from time that I was going to be there. So seeing myself in that situation where I was not having anything now didn't bring down my self-confidence. Even because sometimes you see friends and be like, you were volunteering so much in SPE, and what is the result of it right now? Even 1 year, 2 years, you are not seeing the results. There's one thing about passion and there's one thing about preparation. When you put those two things together and then hard work, you're likely to get what you want. Then you pray constantly. Yeah, just be prayerful too. So you are going to get what you want. So it doesn't mean how long it take, because some of you are going to transition very soon. You're going to finish and you're going to be like, where was this exam? Where was this chevron? This thing that I was talking. I've written so many aptitude tests and I'm not getting in. See, don't give up. That's just most times when we say that phrase, people think that they are just joking. That's how people have been able to see. That's how you see high flyers. Even I myself, that was doing very well in school. When I came out, I wrote like about 4 exams. I didn't get to pass. Do you understand? So, but I kept saying that I'm going to improve. What made me not to pass this exam? What was it? Did I prepare well enough? I mark, that's one thing about creating something that, okay, I think this was where my aptitude test was very weak here. I think I didn't answer this question well. How do I make it better? And that was how probably I got in now. So it's just this thing. Same story for some of my guys in different places. So know what you want to do. If you want to go out do your masters, or you want to say you want to work in the in the industry, know what you want to do so that you prepare ahead. So for masters, okay, it's in the US. Let me start taking my GRA. Let me start preparing as of now. So because preparation helps you to. Somebody say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So just know what you need to do right now and start preparing ahead. Once you do that and you put prayers in place, it's going to work well. So don't look at your stage. If you see me that time, I was very thin in school. I see some of you guys upload throwback sometimes on the SP Instagram, and I'm like, wow, look at me that time. Oh. So it's just how it is. Don't give up. Whatever you are doing in school, increase your networking through SP. Ask vital questions. Don't go and ask them for money. Your own money will come, because sometimes you see people persons, I want to do data. No, no, they are going to pull away from you. Is the money is not that it's small, but not sorry, it's not that it's big, but people want valuable relationship. So if you are coming to ask me a question, how I can, okay, what do you do? Okay, I would like to. Those are mentorship. Very nice. You get what I'm saying. But if there is a need, doesn't mean you can't cry out, but not for petty needs. You get what I'm saying. So those are the stuff. Create valuable relationships from those meetings. Volunteer as much as you can and prepare ahead. The sky might not even, is not even the limit. Thank you very much. SPA.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think we'll definitely invite you for another session to talk more on
Eh,
these opportunities, but because of time,
okay.
so thank you very
Okay,
much.
no problem. Yeah, yeah. You can inform me on time, yeah. Thank you. All right. Okay. Take
So, like he has told us about benefits of SP, like you guys are saying, this is someone that has been an active member right from his undergraduate days and is still an active member right now in the industry. So SP, like you said, SPOE is like a SP in general is like a family. You network, you meet people, you build yourself. I personally can say like I'm someone that I didn't want to be active in any organization before when I came to school, but joining SP has been like so wonderful. Go for energy for me, like the energy for me you talked about so many activities citywide. I think I went to STS recently, met a lot of students from different universities, like SP members, even professionals. Network, ask them questions, whatever you want, and people are ready to respond because we are both SP members. So honestly, SP has a lot to benefit, and I honestly don't see any reason why anybody would not want to be active in SP. So with this, we are coming to the end of our session, and before we go, I think I'd like to broadcast a program that will be coming up soon by SPE Lagos section. That's the D&I event. So I would share the flyer soon. I'm coming. Okay. So yeah, I'll just share a quick flyer for you guys to see. Um, just coming. Share. So yeah. So yeah, we'll be having a D&I event. So it's a student collaboration event with the SP Lagos section. So the theme is unconscious bias, a major disabler of diversity, and it's going to be taking place on the 19th of March on Saturday, 5 p.m. And the meeting venue is Zoom. So there are a lot of things that is going to go on. We're going to have an oratory session whereby students from different student chapters, I can see the 6 student chapters that are going to participate, and that's OAU, UI, Unilag, Covenant, Lasso, and Footer. We would have oratory session where students talk about the theme. There'll be a quiz, there'll be a panel session. In fact, it's going to be wonderful. You won't want to miss it. A link will be shared soon across all platforms for people to register. So you guys should look forward to it. So with that, I'll come to the end of this live session. So thank you. I'll see you guys next week Saturday. Same time, same platform.